This is the producer. I'm getting sick of this. You old geezers better make a good podcast today. I swear, if this isn't a good one, I'm gonna fire all your sorry, nasty, crusty old geezer butts.
I may be old, but I'm still a gamer. Playing since the days of Pong and Space Invaders. Not as quick as I used to be, but my thumbs still move like lightning, you'll see. I'm a geezer gamer, don't forget. I beat you at any game, don't you fret. My reflexes may be slower than before, but my skills are just as hardcore.
Not as strong as they used to be. Cracks of thunder like in their knees. They take breaks from gaming just to pee. Their jokes and rants are just grisly.
I remember Mario was a pixelated sprite, and Doom was a game that gave me a fright. I've seen it all, from the carts to the disc, and my doctor says it's a real health risk. I may not have the time to game all day, but when I do, I make it count in every way. I'll take any challenge, any boss you need, and when I win, I give a shout out to my old gaming posse.
They're a sneeze away from a heart attack. They dance, but then they throw out their backs. When they teabag, they lean on their canes. Just for geezers who like to rant and complain. Rant
This is the
and
producer.
complain.
Alright guys, that's pretty fire. I gotta admit, that's pretty good. This is the kind of stuff I need you guys to do. So let's do a little bit more of that. Okay, keep going, keep going.
Don't you underestimate this old geezer. I may be past my prime, but I am still a gamer. And when it comes to gaming, I will never retire. Cause this geezer gamer sets your soul on fire.
This is the producer. I'm getting sick of this. You old geezers better make a good podcast today. I swear, if this isn't a good one, I'm gonna fire all your sorry, nasty, crusty old geezer butts.
I may be old, but I'm still a gamer. Playing since the days of Pong and Space Invaders. Not as quick as I used to be, but my thumbs still move like lightning, you'll see. I'm a geezer gamer, don't forget. I beat you at any game, don't you fret. My reflexes may be slower than before, but my skills are just as hardcore.
Not as strong as they used to be. Cracks of thunder like in their knees. They take breaks from gaming just to pee. Their jokes and rants are just grisly.
I remember Mario was a pixelated sprite, and Doom was a game that gave me a fright. I've seen it all, from the carts to the disc, and my doctor says it's a real health risk. I may not have the time to game all day, but when I do, I make it count in every way. I'll take any challenge, any boss you need, and when I win, I give a shout out to my old gaming posse.
They're
Game Geezin.
Peaches, 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 I love you. Welcome to Game Geezin, everybody, where RPG experienced geriatric gamers come together to reminisce about the past and ponder about the future of gaming. Hello, my name is Dymlos, and I'm joined by my fellow members of what we affectionately call the Cringebrella. We got Nathan Napalm.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here again.
We got Steven.
Hey, what's up? I'm here.
And last but certainly least, Dave.
Hi, guys.
It's nice to have you all here today.
All right.
Better than Paula Dean.
I would say it's nice to be here, but I got to deal with you.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Dang, it's getting rough. Starting out with that Peaches song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been stuck in my head for the last week, so it's thank you, Jack Black.
My
thought
kid
I'd give
sings
mine-
it
I
all
thought
the
you were
time.
Jack Black for a second.
Yeah, right. Like I channeled my
He's a
inner Jack
guest.
Black on
Hey,
that.
all right.
Thought he was a guest on the show. But this is our last live recording. From now on, it will be in podcast form only. We'll still be recording on Sunday nights, but we're doing it in private so that if you want to listen, you're going to have to come listen to the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Girls.
It's gonna be good. It's much
gonna
better
be
edited. I
Yeah.
know we're funny
delicious.
here. I realize that, but it's so much better edited. Please go out and listen to it.
It really is.
Well, let's
All right.
get to some news, boys.
Let's move on. Let's get to that news.
We bring you the latest and greatest in the world of gaming, except for that time Jim accidentally reported on the 1983 Atari crash. But fear not, because we've got our fingers on the pulse of the gaming industry, even if we're getting a little old and our pulse is getting a little weak. So sit back, grab your controller, and get ready for a ride that's more thrilling than trying to find a good game on Steam's front page. Let's get started.
Welcome to A Game News, where we cover absolutely everything that is worth happening and talking about in the gaming world. We got a lot of really good updates for you today. We're going to kick this off, guys. We're going to talk about, first of all, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster console release. We're also going to let Steve step in, talk a little bit about the Play Asia version of it. If you're really itching to get a physical copy, I want to kick this off by just saying it's an excellent, in my opinion, it's the best way to play these classic Final Fantasies, 1 through 6. There's no reason to go back and get out your dirty old Super Nintendo that's yellowed with all the cigarette smoke in your house, etc. There's no reason to get that out anymore. This is the ultimate way to play it, and I love it. It's a remake, but it still feels just as cool as it did when it released, but still is pixels and beauty. And my favorite feature, and this is why I couldn't get into them on Steam, which hopefully they've added this to the Steam versions, I hope, is you can change the text to be classic. So it looks all kind of pixelated like you want it to. It doesn't look overly clean, which makes it feel like a mobile game. It looks right. It looks good. And that was the tiny little nugget I needed them to fix in this game to make it fantastic. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Super hyped. Beyond hyped.
Yeah.
as a huge Final Fantasy fan, I'm super excited to finally get my hands on it. I'm gonna have to wait forever because I got a physical copy and I didn't get it through the store. I had to do the Play Asia, so I'm gonna have to wait forever for that. But luckily, the Play Asia version actually is more nicely put together than the American version. So there's that.
Well, tell us some differences. What's the main?
Here's the main difference.
Okay.
The main difference in reality is that it doesn't have the standard American ESRB logo on the front.
Right.
But when you open it up, in the American version of the game is just like white background with the black typing like almost every game. But the Play Asia version, you open it up and it actually has artwork on the inside.
It's little pixels
so it
of the
looks
characters?
nicer. It looks nicer. It's the exact same version. If anybody was afraid about ordering the Play Asia, it's literally the exact same game on the cartridge for the Play Asia version, to where if you interchange a US cartridge and a Play Asia cartridge, your Switch will just recognize you're putting the same game in and out.
Yeah.
That's really nice because I
So
need to get
that's
mine.
it.
Have you actually gone through the order process yet?
I have.
Okay. I may need your help with that later. So
It's easy. I can help you.
Sweet.
I have played them on Steam already.
Mhm.
Some of the ones worth playing. And I will just say, Nathan, real quick, yeah, it sounded like a real game geezer if you asked me about the needing the text change like that.
Yeah, man. If it makes me feel like it's a mobile game, I can't do it, man. I hate mobile gaming so much. And if I even get the vibe, I'm out. I can't do it. Goes for MMOs too, when they got too many pop-ups popping up, and it reminds me of like a cell phone game of like all the little ads and things. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm done.
That's rough. That's
Yeah.
rough for me.
Yeah, I can't stand anything that makes me even remotely. Because like a lot of times, like that game is available for mobile, right? And that's fine for it to look like a mobile game on mobile. But don't bring that crap over to the console and PC looking mobile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the other thing is, like, I got to admit that the text style in those old Final Fantasies is iconic to the games.
I agree.
So it's weird to not have it.
I agree with that. And here's the other thing. I am you can call me a console gamer, that doesn't hurt my feelings. You can call me a
Console
PC gamer, that definitely doesn't hurt my feelings because it's Master Race. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and take sloppy leftovers from mobile. No.
That's right.
No freaking way.
If you're listening.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mobile should be getting our sloppy leftovers.
Yeah, that's right. That is exactly right. I'm not taking those sloppy, nasty, secondhand mobile trash shoveled over to my PC or my console. Screw you.
I'll take me some sloppy seconds, guys.
Before we move on to this, I wanted to see, Nathan, have you had a chance to like mess around with the settings at all? I was watching another YouTuber decided to do a crazy run where you got no random encounters. You could actually turn those off.
Yeah.
And then they bumped up the experience from the bosses. So you just literally go kill the bosses.
Yeah, I have played with
think
them. I
that'd be
didn't
cool.
think of that. I didn't think of
It's
that.
actually called cheating.
No,
Yeah.
but it might be harder because you're only getting
Way
XP
harder.
from the
You're
boss.
level 1 fighting the first boss.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with the idea of doing that, but don't do that if you're a first timer playing.
Yeah.
This game.
Well, no.
No.
I'm just saying we've played these games a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Well,
if you-
I haven't
if-
played
Yeah,
any
sure.
of the middle ones, but
Here's my advice, because I played around with the settings, and actually, I'm not going to lie, I didn't come up with this. A YouTuber told me about it, but I agree with them because I tested it. If you've already played the games, you just want to relive them, and you don't want to spend, 30 hours. I don't know if they take that long, but you don't you want to get through them quicker. Turn it on XP 2x and turn it on Gold 2x, and that is just a nice clean run through. It's not going to make the game too easy. It's just going to feel like you did do some grinding in between, and it is a good balance. You can just zip right through because you probably already know where to go, et cetera, et cetera. You're just going to
Right.
zip right through it. And if you just want to re-experience it, I still advise just leaving on 1x and playing it, the way it's supposed to, especially if you've never played it. But 2x is a
yeah.
good medium ground if you just want to relive it real quick.
If
Or
you
get to
played
your
the
favorite
game, like for example, if you've played Final Fantasy IV as many times as at least most of I know of us have, do whatever you want. But if it's your first time, do it the way it's intended.
Yeah, because you're going to get, and here's the one thing a lot of people don't realize that haven't played them. You'll remember that Super Nintendo attempted to do like cinematic kind of scenes with the technology they had. They do those same things, but in a really cool, still feels like it might have been possible on the 16-bit, probably wasn't, but they still do it. They do some of those scenes in such a really cool way. The opera scene, Final Fantasy VI. Oh my gosh, you're gonna freaking just die when you get
I
to
can't
that part.
wait for that.
You're
How's
just
that
going
scene
to
look in
cry.
Final Fantasy IV when you burn down Rydia's village?
Oh, it's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. Dude, and one more thing I want to mention. I'm really hyped about this, by the way. The remaster also fixed some dubbing issues, because I remember playing Final Fantasy IV and Steve actually being like, bro, in the Japanese version, like, maybe he didn't realize he was gonna like kill everybody in that town, but he knew it was a bomb ring, right? Those small little details that were kind of like hard to understand because of censorship and that kind of thing. Now it's the way it was intended to be, which is a joy to play, especially 4 and 6 with like real translation. Super cool.
Yeah, in the in the original American version of Final Fantasy IV, they straight up changed the dialogue to make it seem like that you didn't know what you were delivering to the village, and that it was a surprise to you as well that you burned it down, but you knew that you were going there to mess it up. In the real version.
crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's really cool.
They censored it.
But anyway, moving on, because we got a couple of things we want to cover here. The Xbox Mystery sequel, 10 years in development. Have any of you guys looked into this?
Yeah, it's like,
I have.
what is it going to be? We can only guess.
It's
I
from a
don't
court
even care.
document. That's the only
We
reason
don't
I
know
know about it.
anything, so I can't care. It's 10 years away. I'm going to be 50 years old when this game comes out,
They're not
guys.
saying They're not saying it is going to be 10 years. They're saying it could take 10 years from the documents. But I'm assuming it's probably. I would be surprised if it's a new Elder Scrolls, something along that lines.
Well,
I'm pretty
no,
sure
they
it's
said
gonna
it
be
wasn't.
10 years?
They said it wasn't the new Elder Scrolls. Thank God, because
okay.
oh my gosh, I'd be freaking flipping out on this podcast right now if they said it's going to take 10 more freaking years for the new Elder Scrolls.
Whatever this game is when it comes out, I will actually, for real, be a game geezer when it comes
We
out.
really
No
will
joke.
be. Yeah, we won't be joking. We won't be tongue in cheek anymore. We really will be like, have my cane sitting beside my gamer chair, to
And
get up
every
out
time
of it.
somebody said something, all the rest of us were like, "What? What?
Hey,
Speak up!"
The whole podcast will be us being like, what did you say?
to be fair, guys, though, since that's being talked about, Elder Scrolls 6 is been 5 years in development so far, 6 years in development, and they said it's still good to think of it and to be in a developmental stage, and it's still a few years out. So technically, we may be looking at 10 years till it comes out. Total.
It could be a long time because in 2021, Todd Howard said Elder Scrolls 6 was in the design phase. in 2021. Like, guys, why did you wait so long to start working on the? What is wrong with you? You know,
Because
like
they weren't done doing all the different versions of Skyrim yet.
that's what I was about to
think
say, guys.
that's
It
true.
turns out this 10-year thing is actually the remake of Skyrim, like a full-blown remaster.
From my understanding, they're working on Skyrim for PSVR 2 to be a launch title.
Yeah,
It already launched though.
what's on
No, for
PSVR
PSVR
1?
2.
A remake.
PSVR 2 launched.
It's gonna be but they're working on a remake for it to remaster it for PSVR.
It's going to be a special PSVR 2 with Skyrim on the headset.
Probably.
Oh, it's a relaunch of the PSVR 2.
You're right.
It's
Yes.
a special PSVR 2 that you have to be able to play the new Skyrim.
It's the only way to
VR.
play Skyrim VR 2. Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah, we're joking, of course, guys. But anyway, let's move on to the next story. We've got Mario movie. The Mario movie is tearing up, and I've got a lot to say about this. This might not be good news, guys. We're going to talk about it. I think it deserves the success because it's a great movie, right? $1 billion almost. They're at $724 million. That doesn't count this weekend we're currently on. So they might have hit $1 billion, but I think they definitely will before it's out of theaters. What do you guys think?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Have you guys
People are
thought
seeing
of
it multiple times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which is understandable. I kind of want to go see it again, to be honest.
What's your concern?
Oh,
About that?
because I know how this works, and we all do. So, because Mario did so good, get ready, baby. Crash Bandicoot, the movie. Freaking.
The other company.
Oh, yeah. Bubsy 3D, the movie. Get ready. They're coming.
Atari owns that now, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm fine
Yeah, they
with.
just bought it.
I'm fine with it, but here's the deal: give me icons, man. Give me iconic games. I don't care about Crash Bandicoot. I don't care about Bubsy. I don't care about.
That's the problem. It's going to, like, overload the market. Like, they're about every.
Don't you think there's better? Like, there's IPs they could grab and make. You give me a Call of Duty movie, it'd probably be really good.
Would you guys like to see a Final Fantasy movie? Like, I know they've already done
yeah.
that. I know they've already done
do
that.
it.
But I
Of course I
mean,
would.
a new one. Like, what if they did one
Action.
based on a particular Final Fantasy? Like, hey, guys, we're taking Final Fantasy 4 and making a movie out of it.
Then I would demand
I would
that it was made into a high budget series instead.
I would
That would be even
demand
better.
Demand.
Max
I would
series.
demand
That's
it.
what I would want.
That would be even better. Steve just nailed it. I would rather that because you can tell more.
Any
'Cause mo-
JRPG.
Yeah, movies are too quick. So to try to cram that whole story into an hour and a half, 2 hours is a little much. And
But
isn't
you
it?
can do a platformer game storyline in a movie.
Sure.
You can do that.
That's easy.
It's same
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Zelda. Same with Zelda. You cannot make a game. Mario's fine, even Crash Bandicoot or whatever garbage they want to put out. That is like that. They can't have a very deep story to do a 2-hour-long movie. It needs, for a complex game, it would need to be a series.
See, I disagree that Zelda would have to be a series.
You don't think so?
Nah.
No, I don't
Think about
either.
it, dude. Go back and look. Zelda's
Yeah.
not that story heavy.
It's not. Never has been. I would say it's more now than it has ever been, and it's still not all that much story, right? It's pretty basic. Like, I could tell you the plot line of Breath of the Wild in about a minute and a half, and you would have
And
a
none of
full
them are
grasp.
connected either. So you're having multiple characters playing
Exactly.
multiple Links and Zeldas and all that.
Yeah, you could do a
I think
movie.
they could
and
pull
it would
off
work.
Zelda to be a movie. I think they could pull
Metroid.
off Metroid to be a movie, honestly.
All of the
but
Nintendo.
Nintendo
Would I be
Cinematic
pumped about
Universe.
a series version of any of those? I mean, yeah, that would be even better. But I think a movie would still be good. I think you take something like Final Fantasy IV or even Dragon Quest or even something like I'm trying to think of an American classic one.
Well,
but I
I've
can't
got really
off the
good
top of my head.
news. Based on the stuff you guys are telling me, I guess you didn't hear the news. It
Please,
was a
Nathan,
it was a
enlighten us.
test. It was a test. I wanted to see if you guys heard this. I've got a surprise announcement for everybody. It has been announced they are making a Final Fantasy series. It's being produced by Amazon.
Nuh-uh.
Shut up.
I'm joking.
That's
that
not
would be
real.
awful. That would
Yeah,
suck.
of course you're
Castle-
joking.
Oh,
Of course
yeah,
you're
dude.
joking.
Castlevania
No,
would be
it could be
another one that they could do as a
Move
series or a
along.
movie. Anyway, yeah,
You
okay.
ruined
I've
it.
done ruined
You
that.
just
All right.
ruined my night.
All right. I like to ruin things before we move along. It's a good way to move to the next thing. Full Moon Productions. All right. I don't know how much sense this will make to many people, okay? But Full Moon Productions made some really... they made movies that were so bad they were awesome. The most popular of their
Pennywise.
movies is Puppet Master, okay? But trust me, if that's all
argue
you've
that.
dipped into Full Moon Productions, you are missing the F out, guys.
You don't know Full Moon. If that's
We've
all
seen
you've
them all. We are such fans. We used to order them. Okay, we ordered all the Full Moon productions.
Whoa.
They're so crappy that they are some of the best movies ever made. You got to
know
go
what I
see
just
Werewolf.
realized?
You got to
You know
go
what I
see
just
that.
realized, Nathan?
Yeah.
I just realized that was some good. Okay.
Can't
It
finish
was
that
so
live.
high that the audio cut out.
It cut it
I
out.
can't-
Yeah,
I can't-
it was too
I
much.
can't- Yeah, I cut it out.
It was auto censored. So they're making a game based on the Puppet Master. It's an open beta right now. If you want to go check it out.
How weird.
I would expect it to be awful, but so
better be.
awful that you love it. That's kind of what they do. That's kind of what they
You'll
do.
laugh the whole time.
Yeah, like they're not trying to be funny. That's what makes it so funny. They're trying to be serious, but it's so bad that it's hilarious.
Especially if you look at their earlier work. Like, they eventually sort of became kind of self-aware, I feel like, with stuff they started doing.
Yeah.
But in its origins, it's the best.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Pennywise
Puppet Master
Werewolf.
game, Bizarro.
Not Pennywise. What's that called? I forget what it's called.
Killjoy.
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 Was that Full Moon though, or was that another
That one actually wasn't full moon.
I didn't think
but
so,
It's
yeah.
basically along those lines.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Wow, that
It might
makes
as
me-
well be
that
a
makes
full
me
moon.
sad. Killjoy 2 is really good too. Just
But
saying.
anyway, that's news.
Even
that-
I'm super curious to know what your favorite full moon movie is.
Yeah, what is yours?
Is Werewolf full moon?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you messed
Somebody
up. Killjoy
paid-
is full moon.
Somebody.
Is it
I
really?
just looked at-
Oh
yes.
snap.
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
Makes
I
sense.
didn't think it
Makes
was.
sense. Makes sense actually. Well, Werewolf was bought by a real for some weird
Yeah.
reason. It was bought by like one of the major
Like Universal or something weird like that.
Guys,
Yeah.
guys,
Go
I
watch
just
it.
can't-
Come on.
We got a revelation here. There is a Killjoy 3 and a Killjoy Goes to Hell that have come out.
I
Oh,
knew
there's been
about number
sequels.
3. I haven't bothered to watch it.
Anyway, guys, we can't keep talking about this. We're going to lose our
Okay,
whole
sorry.
audience.
Sorry.
Nobody has no idea what we're talking about. All right,
Or
so
Werewolf.
moving
That's
on.
our best rant.
Indie World indie game announcements. So Nintendo hosted their indie announcements. Steve, I'm hoping that you know because I watched it, but to be honest with you, I didn't see anything that made me even
This is your bag,
slightly interested. I was like, we just
Okay.
talked about how I feel about some of these indie games.
So there wasn't anything like insane in there, but worth mentioning. The things that I think are worth mentioning out of it for people who like video games. I'm not a huge fan of this series, but I do think that it's good. The new Necrodancer game is going to be coming out, Rift of the Necrodancer.
okay.
They even did a Zelda themed one of those that was pretty cool for what it is, Some people are into that kind of stuff. I know that Crypt of the Necrodancer is really popular with female audiences, so that's definitely something to look forward for any fans there. And the other thing that was two more things worth mentioning on there, I felt like, is Tesla Grad 2 got released right after it, and they also released a remastered version of the first one. I've never played this game, but I do think that it looks cool, so that's why I thought it was worth mentioning. And then the last one, probably like the biggest game, in my personal opinion, to get announced on there is Blasphemous 2. I don't know if you guys ever played that. It's kind of like a Souls-like Castlevania kind of game. It's pixel art. It looks really awesome. If you haven't heard of it, definitely check it out. And that kind of pretty much wraps up the most exciting things that I think were on the Nintendo Indie World Direct.
Nice.
Well done.
Okay. Yeah, good job. And the last piece of news that we have here is Atelier Marie, which from what I
yes.
understand was the original, right? This is
That's
the
right.
original
This
game.
is the first Atelier game that ever was released on the PlayStation. Then it came out on the Sega Saturn, like right after that.
I appreciate you mentioning the Sega Saturn.
I just had to throw that out there. I mean, it's the first Atelier game on a Sega console. We got to say
right.
it. We got to
That's
say
right.
it. And I'm really excited about this game. And some people aren't because of the graphic style, but you can tell what they were trying to do is they wanted to make a modern day remake where the graphics kind of reflected how 8-bit and 16-bit characters kind of looked in RPGs. You know what I mean? Kind of like Bravely Default tried to do.
Yeah.
But they did it, actually, I think, a lot better than them. So it's got that kind of graphic style, and it actually it's a really good-looking remake when you go back and look at the original. I think it also comes with the original. So that's something to look forward to if you're into those kind of games.
Also, if you're into boobies, it looks like there's lots of them.
Oh, gone.
I am
I don't
super into
know
movies,
about-
so I'll be picking this one
Really?
up.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Are you being Atelier Marie?
Yeah, she's wearing like a bra. It looks like so.
yeah, she
it may
is.
appeal.
She
I'm
is.
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that if you like that, it looks like there's quite a bit
Steven
of
is officially turned off and he's not buying this game. You just ruined the whole game for him.
Oh, I see. See, I mean, it's more noticeable if you look at the actual like art, but I mean, when you're looking at that chibi model, it's not even something I'm noticing.
Yeah, that's true. Not on the model, but on the show like a more like full anime picture. That's when you're gonna see that.
Yeah.
So,
but it looks pretty cool. But it is unfortunate. I do want to just mention this: if you want a physical copy, you got to get it on PlayAsia. Blah 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 blah. But that's the end of that.
I love physical copies.
I do too.
We got some fans
Love
in the
them.
chat of the additional features
boobs.
of that game. Yeah. All right. So that's it. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of news this week. That's pretty much it. So unless anybody else has something to add to the game news, I think we're moving on.
Nope.
All right. Here we go.
This oil bath is going to feel so good.
Star Wars stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, my name is Steve. I am a Star Wars fan, and Dave likes Star Wars too. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
We just want to take a moment to talk about what's going on in Star Wars right now. So, Mandalorian Season 3 just wrapped up. What do you think, Dave?
I think it is arguably. I know a lot of people crapped on it, but I think it is arguably some of the best Star Wars on screen for me that I've seen. So
I agree 100%. It was a little bit criticized by some, but everything to do with Star Wars is nowadays. It
That's
doesn't
true.
matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. But I thought it was fantastic, and I liked the way how it sort of wrapped up the current storylines that were going on. But then, we also know that Filoni's going to be doing a Mandalorian-related movie, and they went ahead and confirmed Season 4 of The Mandalorian as well, so we definitely have more adventures with Mando and Grogu coming in the future.
Oh, nice.
And also this month, Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out. Anybody who played the first game is obviously going to be excited for this one. First one was fantastic. And you can never forget those amazing Vader scenes in that game and the things that happen with Vader. It's just so cool. So I can't wait to see more of that adventure. I think it comes out like right around my birthday here in a few days. So that's pretty exciting. Dave, are you picking that game up, or are you still holding out till you beat the first one?
I'm still gonna pick it up.
Right on. Right on.
Have it ready.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna beat you may already own it, but you're gonna beat the first one before you play the second.
Yeah, I've already
right?
I'm playing through it right now.
Yeah,
I'm interested to
got
see
it.
how they do that. Like, I feel like since it's coming out, because Owen technically released on PS4. I feel like since it's releasing on the PS5, they will feel like some people won't have played the original. So I'm feeling like there'll be a little story wrap up at the beginning or something to get you acclimated. If I had to guess, for people that don't want to play the original, I think you'll be fine.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know, man. I think this is one of those games where they are expecting that you played the original game. There might be like a little bit of recap, but it's not going to be. You're not. You know what I mean? It's. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. They do that a lot in games now. I've noticed. But
Is it picking up right
I
where
think
it
it's
left off,
it's a shame for you to have not played the first game. Is
Yeah,
what
it's
I'll
good.
say.
It's
Because
good.
there's a lot that happens with all these. You got the main character and his story, but there's all these side characters, just like normally in a Star Wars movie, and they all have character development and things that happen throughout their story. You learn
They're
about
good.
their backstories. Twists and things happen with them, and a lot of that's going to be getting referenced, I'm sure, in the new game.
It has to be. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if the game takes immediately, like the second the first game ends or anything, but it has to be relatively close because, it has to take place within a contained timeline because of where it takes place in the timeline of Star Wars.
Agreed.
Which, if you wanted to know, in case you didn't, it does take place after Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Quite a few years right after that.
Right.
I mean, the main character is a survivor child of Order 66.
It's a dark time. It's a dark time in the Star Wars universe,
It
to be
is.
honest, as soon as the game kicks off.
All in gingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who have hate for red-haired people. Maybe you won't like the game. Personally, I don't have a problem with red hairs.
I'm a fan, actually, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes I like some of those red-haired women.
With
But-
that, I think we should move on.
The
All
last
right.
thing I do want to mention before we move on is Ahsoka's coming out later this year. We got that to look forward to. We'll talk about that in the future. And Bad Batch Season 3 confirmed for 2024. And that's all we got on Star Wars
All right,
for this week.
moving on.
Game of the month.
Hey everybody! Today in sports, we're going to talk about the Garcia.
Sports.
Hey, wait, hold up, Dave.
What?
Sports got canceled last week, remember? There's no
I was
sports.
about to say. I thought you were about to
Did
start
it-
saying a sports
Did
game.
it for sure?
Yeah, dude, it definitely-
It
it
was
definitely-
terrible.
Has
Dude,
he called
this-
back and let us know?
Dude, this isn't even the
Have we
time
heard
for
from him?
sports anyway. That's like towards the end. Anyway.
My bad.
And plus,
Okay,
we got a lot
that's
of
my
hate
bad.
mail about that segment anyway.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dave was trying to sneak that in, obviously. I
Sorry
feel like.
about that.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Just trying
yeah.
to
I
sneak
guess
that
I'm going
in.
to talk about a game of the month, maybe.
Yeah,
or
there you go.
games
That's
of
where
the
we're at.
month, or a game that you might think is going to be the game of the month. That's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
going to talk about instead.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with what we probably already know with
Mm-hmm.
Steve. What do we got there, Steve?
Well,
Mr.
you already
Boring
know
over here.
it's going to be Star Wars Jedi Survivor. But I will say this. I
Uh-huh.
will say this, and I'm not trying to steal the glory of anybody who's about to speak right after me. If I was able to get my hands on that physical copy of Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
Pixel Remaster, that might very well be my game of the month because I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, more so than I am a Star Wars fan, and I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan. But unfortunately, I'm not going to even get to play that game this month, or probably even next month, or the month after that.
June.
Well, I will-
Yeah, we're going for June.
Yeah,
will
so I'm
say-
still
I will-
sticking with
I will
Star Wars
say-
for this month. In
will
reality, for me.
What Steve does have in the notes, though, just so you guys, everybody hears this. In the notes, I do got. It will be good game.
Yes, it will be good game.
So
It will be
that-
good
you
game.
know,
It
get
will
excited,
be good
guys.
game.
Get excited. What about you, Nathan? I have a feeling that Steve just, gave
Yeah.
something away.
He just
here.
totally
What about
stomped
you?
on my fury here, but I'm changing
I'm
mine.
the OG Final Fantasy fan around here, buddy.
It is true. It is true. Although I played Final Fantasy 1, Steve got me back into the series. I because I skipped the Super Nintendo and went to Sega Genesis. So when I met Steve, he was like, "No, bro, you got to go
That's
back and play these,"
disgusting.
and I did. But anyway, the Final Fantasy remasters, guys, are so freaking good. I've already talked about some. I'm going to go too deep into it. I'm just going to say that if the Star Wars Jedi Survivor is better than the Final Fantasy Pixel remaster for consoles, then wow. I just don't think it can be because
It'd be too hard to do.
it's got
I mean, for
nostalgia
one thing,
tied to it.
Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is 6 games.
It's 6 games, 6 excellent games, by the way.
And most of them are, they're all excellent, but some of them they're just flat out
Masterpieces.
masterpieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
masterpieces.
Yeah, 4 and 6 are masterpieces. I would say 3 is as well. And I would say 5 is as well. I would say 3,
5
4.
is. 5
and you know
is.
what?
I didn't-
Just the whole thing, all 6 of them, masterpieces.
Almost.
One or two are meh.
I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy 2 because of that weird thing, the way you got to level up. I never could get through that
3's
game.
not even my favorite at all. I'll say that.
But it's a really good. Here's why I
It's
like
cool, though.
3. Final Fantasy 1, I loved it when I was a kid. I mean, it felt like the first adventure, like real adventure I could go on. As a child, I didn't have nobody to play D&D with, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But I could hop on Final Fantasy, and it felt like this entire world, right? And it was just crazy for the time. And I feel like even though we didn't get Final Fantasy 3 in North America, our Final Fantasy 3 is Final Fantasy 6. Hopefully you guys know that big mess because we're going to try not to get into it. But the real Final Fantasy 3 was on the Nintendo. And if I could have had that back then, it really was like Final Fantasy 1 on steroids, like with a little bit more story and being able to switch your classes and... Dude, some of the cool, like that part where that giant bird kidnaps you, you're up in its nest. Dude, there's just so many just really cool moments in that game that I think they should in the future take some of those moments and put them in a new Final Fantasy, you know,
That
just
would be
like a
cool.
throwback, because so many people haven't played that one. But anyway,
Okay.
that's fine.
We're gonna stop talking about the kidnapping, and we're gonna move over to Dymlos. You got anything to trigger us?
Oh, all right. So obviously, these two guys obviously picked the two best games. Like I can't argue. Fallen Ginger is going to be great. Final Fantasy 1 through 6, icons. Exactly what you said, masterpieces. So it's hard to try to find something else. But I think this month a real solid look needs to be given to Trinity Trigger. We are, pretty heavy here amongst ourselves with the RPG format. So, got to mention this is probably the best RPG of the month. There's going to be some co-op, even though it's going to be local only for now. Hopefully, they need to be putting some online stuff so Steven and I can play it together. But it just looks great. They say it's a live action, but it also is for beginners as well. Or just an action style game. So I'm really excited because I'm not good at action style RPGs. So this kind of hybrid that's going to be a little easier for someone like me who sucks at those games is going to be a lot of fun.
You mean like an amateur?
Yes, I am terrible at games. So yes, amateur.
I actually think this looks like a cool game too. And the thing that I think is exciting about it for me is the fact that it has 3-player couch co-op.
Yeah.
And it has that Secret of Mana kind of vibe going on already.
Same artist.
Yeah.
That's why. Same artist.
I did not know that.
Yeah, for people that don't understand why there's more hype for Trinity Trigger, because I do know that there is a lot of these indie-looking kind of RPGs releasing. Trinity Trigger's a little different because it's got the artist from Secret of Mana, it's got the character designer from freaking Xenoblade, and it's got the scenario writer from Octopath Traveler, and the composer from Secret of Mana, too. This is an all-star cast, like making this.
Yeah.
This is the RPG boner of all time.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't say that. That's coming out in June. But Trinity Trigger, it is worth mentioning. This game's getting published by Exceed. They put out usually pretty cool stuff from Japan.
True. Yeah, Exceed's pretty good. And
So they've got a day one copy happening. Should I pick that up, Steven? Do I need the day one copy?
I mean, I wouldn't. It depends on. Are you you're a collector? Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Collect
Oh, yeah.
Switch. Get it.
yeah.
All
You
right,
might as
done deal.
well,
It's
right?
happening. I'm gonna go pick it up. I think tomorrow. I think it comes out tomorrow. So
People are wanting to rename our show to Weebs Wheezing, by the way. Wheezing
What the hell's
Weebs.
a
Talking
weeb?
about anime. We haven't even
All
been
right,
talking
we're-
about anime.
we're-
Just
we're-
because Final Fantasy, I guess. Oh, I see. I see how it is.
I see how it is.
I'm gonna throw mine in here, guys.
All right.
And I'm taking a big pivot.
Oh, boy.
pivot.
You,
Fabledom is the
The
game
hell's that?
I want to talk about.
I
All
thought,
right.
I
I
thought
may
that was
have to
a
look it
I
up.
thought that was a joke when you wrote it down. I didn't know it was
No,
real.
it's a city builder, but it's like a it's kind of like fairy tale style. And
Dude,
it
all
actually-
I can find is this game called Fable Dom, where it's like a fantasy dominatrix game.
Oh,
This
God.
can't be it.
That's Fable
Anyways.
Oh,
Dominatrix.
I see it
yeah.
now.
There you go.
Fable
but you
3.
can-
Fable Dom.
you can actually have like relationships in it, like and have a king or a queen that you marry to, and like it's kind of a neat take on that genre. Which
Is it
I'm
like a
fan of
Sims
that.
kind of
Simulation
builder?
game? Yeah.
It's a city
Oh, that's
builder,
kind of
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it does look kind of cool, yeah.
But it's a cool. I haven't got to play it yet, but it did come out this month, and I do really want to give it a shot. So.
Oh, cool. Now, this is where I'm primarily a console gamer. This is the kind of game that I play on a PC right here.
Yes,
kind of stuff.
thank you. Yeah, this belongs
These
on a PC.
suck on consoles whenever they try to do that.
I agree.
Like,
It
in
is-
real-time strategies and things like that, awful.
It
on
is
consoles.
early access, so keep that in mind if you do jump into it. So.
Looks pretty cool.
Dave, do you know in the simulation, do you cook at all?
I don't think so, but that was almost, believe it or not, I almost picked a cooking sim.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Just to
Anyways,
troll Steven anytime we can.
we are going to move on to something that is going to be pretty serious. So move on to what
What?
Steve's got to talk about.
What, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
I
debate.
forgot. I know what's next. Okay, my bad.
It's
My
gonna
bad.
be a bad one. It's
All
gonna be a
right,
big
here we
one.
go, guys. Get ready. Get out your boxing gloves. Here we go.
Take your ass right now. Gaming debate. Gonna fight and argue right now.
Hi, my name's Steve. Again, I'm back.
Hi, Steve.
Welcome
good to
to the
meet you.
gaming debate. The
What's your
debate of the
favorite animal?
century.
No,
What's my
never
favorite
mind.
animal?
Yeah. I'll see if it's
Chicken.
changed. Oh, it has changed over the years. All right. Anyway.
Walrus, moose, I don't know.
It's a chicken now, huh? I wonder how you feel about that.
Used
Well,
to be a
here's the
shark.
thing. It's related to today's gaming debate. Oh, hi, my name's Steve. My favorite animal is a shark. Hi, this is Steve again. I'm back again. Okay, gaming debate time. All right. Now, here's the age-old question. People argue about this all the time. I literally have spent hours and hours on Twitter and on Reddit reading threads and feeds all about this particular topic. People arguing nonstop. Should you eat fried chicken while gaming?
No,
No, it's bad for the
What?
controller and the keyboard.
absolutely not, dude.
Gets the
greasy
controller all greased
fingers.
up. Huh?
What?
Yeah, greasing your fingers all up.
Some,
That's
Is it worth it?
horrible.
Some-
No. And Dymlos, you better not be for this after your love of the Nintendo Wii. How are you going to hold on to those controllers?
Oh, yeah, that's
That's why there's
gross.
a wrist strap, dumbass.
Listen, there's
Flying into the screen. That's why all those screens actually got broken, though. It's because people were eating fried chicken while gaming.
Yeah, here's the deal, guys. There's food made for gaming, okay? I'd say burritos are a little dangerous, but if you're not...
A crunch wrap, dude.
A crunch wrap is great. A burger, fries, finger foods, pizza. And pizza can get greasy, but you can hold it in such a way. If you're a gamer, you know what I'm talking about. There's a way to hold a pizza,
Even
and
pizza's iffy, though.
it's a little
Dude,
iffy.
you could hold a chicken leg with like some tongs.
Oh my gosh, that's too much. I'm not getting
Like
out
a
tongs.
chicken.
You're stupid. You're like sitting in your living room with tongs.
But nobody's
holding a
looking at
chicken
you,
leg.
man. Nobody can see you.
Okay,
It
first
only-
off, here's the argument to this. You already are getting the controller greasy, right? From whatever it is you're doing,
Your
it
hand
doesn't have to be
oils.
fried chicken. It's already turning into a giant ball of grease. So just live it up. You want to eat the fried chicken and you want to play the game. So just, it's fine. It's a $70 controller. It'll break. Here's what you do. Dave, are you ready for this? I've got your answer. All you
I
have to
may
do
have
is
an
when you
answer.
buy the controller, you buy that little $7 warranty. And when it breaks down in a year, you go in, hey, Best Buy, you bunch of
dude.
idiots. Here is my broken controller. I want a new one. I
They're
bought
gonna
this
call you the
insurance.
idiot because if you don't read the fine print, it straight up says that its warranty is voided if it's due to chicken grease.
There is no chicken grease clause. Get the fuck out.
Chicken grease clause. Here's what you guys aren't thinking about, though. There is obviously a lot of people who feel that you should be able to eat fried chicken while you game. Hence, the KFC console.
Like, is that
Boom.
because- is that
Boom.
because-
Mic dropped.
No, that's because the people that I think that says more about the people that play games, sadly, than the people than
The
that's
ones
what
that eat
people
fried
want.
chicken while they game. It's not everybody.
Okay,
Do
I'm
you
about
think
to.
Kentucky Fried Chicken is going to come out with
No,
a controller
there is
that
one
can be
thing.
greased by chicken?
No
No,
way.
it's
No
in
way.
their
Do you see
name.
this? Do
Yeah.
you see this on camera? If you could stick a chicken leg in here and then eat it like this, I would be down for
You
it.
could.
If they created a chicken
Dude,
holder,
you could create that. That's easy.
Well,
Oh my
guys,
God,
hang
I'm
on.
Chicken holder microphone.
I'm done. I'm on the chicken side now.
Well, wait a minute, Dave. I'm about to.
Turned him.
Wait a minute,
Debate
though. Dave, last week.
Master debated.
Last week, you were talking about how gross it is for like electronic produced, food. But have you ever thought about that? What you just said most likely will evolve from the machine making the chicken, and then the chicken leg comes out and for you to eat, and then you can just kind of reach over to your mic and just kind of take a bite of chicken, like.
Is it a 3D printed chicken or is it an actual lab-made piece of chicken?
It can be both. It can be both.
It's computer printed though, for sure at first, at least.
I'm back against it. I'm not for it yet. If we can't.
Okay,
get
I've got
Okay.
a solution to that, though.
All right.
Here's what you do. Everybody's so concerned their controller's going to get all greased up, right? But I have a solution.
It already
for that.
is.
Just do what I do. When you go to the store, get the most cheapest generic knockoff controller you can get, and that's your chicken controller. You
Oh, a
only use that
chicken
one while you're eating fried
controller.
chicken.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea. You're gonna have to get a
Yeah, we
chicken
need to
keyboard.
market this shit.
Listen, I think you need a
gamer.
chicken keyboard too because I'm imagining little crumbs from the crust of the chicken. You know, like the
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
getting
Get
underneath
a
the
wireless
keys.
one.
But
So you
I
can just
can't
toss
use
it
a
to the side when
crappy-
you're done. Get back to your good keyboard.
I think
All
my
right.
only solution here is if Sheila reloaded my chicken for me.
Reload.
I mean, she
Oh.
can. You pay her to do that.
Hey, shut the hell up! If
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
paying you, you can put chicken in my shit so I can eat it. Do you understand? Do you? Okay, thank you.
Does he
I
even
mean,
know he's live?
she'll probably write notes on the chicken, dude. I don't know if I would actually. Like,
She'll wrap the note cheese on the chicken. You'll have cheesy chicken.
It might be good.
you
That
can't
might be good,
eat that
actually.
cheese,
Game on.
guys.
I've won this debate. Steven and I have absolutely won this debate.
You can't eat
They
cheese
make-
with
Especially when you get
Sharpie
that
on it.
backup grease controller, you're good to go.
You need
All
to
right.
patent that shit. Backup grease controller.
Oh,
and put
grease
that on the market.
controller. Yeah, because you could use it for like your kids because they get like boogers and
Yeah.
stuff
Oh,
all over
yes.
it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
I hate getting the controller from like when I had
That's when I
toddlers. There'd
realized
be like boogers and
once
stuff
I
on it.
had once I had a toddler is how I figured out I could start doing this. I was like, oh, I just use
There
this
you go.
controller when I eat.
Smart.
That's his.
Well, anyway,
What
we're
a
moving
great
on.
debate this was.
I think we all agreed though with the chicken controller. It's okay, right? That's pretty
It
much what
changes the
Yeah.
game. I agree.
You have a
Let's
chicken
go
controller.
to it.
chicken controllers. I like it. All right, moving on.
That's you, Nathan.
Oh, it's me. So, welcome to Retro Rewind, where we talk about an old school game and we reminisce like old gaming geezers do. And today, I want to bring up a classic that I think everybody will have some memories with. Hopefully, some multiplayer, kind of sitting with your buddy on the couch playing back in the day, or maybe even at the arcade. And that is the one and only Contra, baby. Contra. Love this game.
Love
Playing
it. Love it.
This was so I didn't get to play the arcade version until way later, and it turns out the arcade version is awesome. We didn't have that in my arcade, etc. But I have some great memories with my Nintendo, playing with family members, friends. I mean, Contra was just universal awesome to everybody who played it. And for some reason, my favorite part of playing Contra was when you were in those water scenes and you could duck and go underwater to dodge the
yeah.
bullets. I don't know why that made me so happy back in the day, but I freaking loved that. So
You were able to relive Rambo, man.
that's what
awesome.
it was. That's exactly what it was for me. It was like getting, and they made a Rambo game, but we don't have to go there. The Contra game felt like an action film. Also, at least when we were young, every little boy played to be a soldier at some point, you know. So this felt like you could really be like this mega epic soldier, and it was a little futuristic. Contra freaking rocks. What do you guys think about it?
Can we
Here's
talk
what I
about
got.
the not side scroller scenes in that too, where you're
Oh, yeah.
things are
Oh,
coming at you? It's
yeah, I
like
forgot about
So
that.
good.
And
So
you're ducking
good.
under the electric fence and shit. That was wonderful.
That was wonderful.
Revolutionized games.
And those boss fights where you could like move
I
left
don't
and
know if
right.
That revolution.
Oh, get out of here, Steven.
Come on, dude. Rygar did it
Revolutionizing
first.
stuff, man.
Who did it first?
Right,
Rygar.
Oh, Rygar was.
Dude, Rygar
Wasn't
was
as
the
fun.
bomb,
Co-op.
dude.
Co-op
Listen,
is what made it.
Oh
Ry-
yeah, co-op.
the co-op made it really cool because you were doing those. It really felt like for real, like you and your buddy were soldiers, and here you go, you know, working this out. And it, even though realistically there wasn't like options, really, you're just kind of going through a linear level. At the time, it felt like because of the little 3D moments, top head view, it felt like that there was much more going on here. That you could do more than any other game, and the music was awesome too.
Yeah, it was really fun. And I do have one thing to say about that game. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start.
That's it, baby. That's
The
it.
Contra code.
Dave, do you hate this game? I'm looking at your face. I know our listeners
It's not
can't
that
see.
I hate it, but he said something about Rambo, and I just started thinking, and I'm like, they didn't draw. We drew first blood in Contra. We drew first blood.
Yeah, but the
Alright.
thing is, it's not like Rambo at all. It's if you wanted to compare it to Rambo, you'd have to say it's like Rambo 2.
I can
Second
agree
Blood?
with that.
I think
First
Rambo
Step.
1 would be a pretty cool RPG though.
That'd be good.
Oh, it would be.
Good stuff.
Didn't they
probably
try to
is
bring
one.
Rambo back on like the 360?
And you know, I'm
Did
also
they?
disgusted.
they
I'm
did.
disgusted that people are saying it's Commando and Rambo on the cover. Because let me tell you something. Unless it's Stallone and Schwarzenegger, it's not them. All right, you can't even say
It is
that it's
them.
Commando or
100%
Rambo
them.
if it's not those characters.
It
That's
is
like
those
me-
characters.
It's
that's
characters
like-
clearly
it was-
inspired.
Yeah, it was
It's
invoking
inspired, but
those
it's not
feelings.
them.
No, it's not them. But they
them.
knew what they were doing.
We were 8-year-old kids. It was them. Shut
And
the
plus-
fuck up.
Back then-
have you seen?
Go ahead.
Have you
sorry.
seen the Japanese cover? You got to remember what American covers were like.
True. American covers are so awful. Like, they were so bad. They were like, can we hire Fabio again? We need to get Fabio back on this cover. But anyway, guys, before we move on, one more thing I want to say about Contra. Hardly ever do I hear people also praising the sequel, which was just as freaking good, if not better, Super C. Super C, which was Super Contra, was every bit as good, if not better, than the original Contra. I think it was better. Now, Contra, loved it, played it. Super C, though, bro, Super C took it to the next freaking level. Everybody played it? Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I played all the old
What do you
school
guys
ones.
think? Super C better than original OG Contra or not?
Oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
the
I
nostalgia
think so.
wins out for me. I think it's original
I'm a
Contra.
Super C.
Have any of you guys played that newest Contra game they made? I actually have it, but I just have not even tried it out yet.
No.
Not at all.
I lost faith in Contra long ago.
Yeah, me too. I picked it up on the cheap, so I was like, eh. I haven't even played it though.
All right, well, that's all I got to say about Contra, to be honest. I'm done.
All right, yeah. Peace out,
right.
Contra.
All right, we're moving on. Scandalous stories. Oh, this is going to be a juicy one, guys. Here we go.
Stories that go beyond the average. Tales of the ashamed acts we do as gamers. Join us as we tell the dark side of gaming, the chapters of our lives that push into the shadowy realm of the twisted, of the dark. This is Scandalous Stories.
All right, we're on to scandalous stories, boys. If you remember, it's rolled around to me, and if you remember the last time that I told a story, it broke the internet. So
Yeah, we're
I am
still
here
investigating.
still investigating.
I got a bad feeling that he's gonna bomb on this one.
Maybe.
No, he won't.
This is one of my all-time favorite stories. Strap in. It is kind of a long one. Feel free to interrupt. There's no hardwood carpet on this one though. So, so we're going back again to my college days where I have all my best stories. And I was working at a place called Hollywood Video at the time. You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
And I met some very fine people at that establishment. And one of them was this gentleman. His name, I'm going to change it. It was Mike. And
Okay.
so Mike, it was a great guy. We got along really well. Instantly became friends. And we started hanging out outside of work even. So he invited me over to his house. At the time, this was when Super Smash Brothers was, again, back in my life. Very, very revealing game for me that I played that a lot. So
Nintendo 64?
of course. Yeah.
Okay,
64. It was in its height of so the party it was a hybrid party. One part come over to play Super Smash Brothers. There was probably about 15 people there, but the other half, the main entertainment was something that they had worked up called Iron Drunk. And so this particular game consisted of both Mike and his friend, who I don't know and will not, I don't know the name, but this was a long time ago, so forgive me. But Mike and him had this contest of who could drink more really shitty vodka. And so,
do you remember the
yeah.
brand, by the way? Was it Grey Goose by chance?
No, it was
That's
a
a
plastic
high
bottle.
dollar one, ain't
Plastic
it?
bottle.
Oh, what's
Way
the crappy
lower.
one we used to drink? I'm sorry. What was the really crappy kind, Steve, that we used to buy? Not Grey
man,
Goose.
what was that called?
It was called Turkey or something. It was close.
Yeah, it's something like that. It does start with a T.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
That's
Go
whiskey,
ahead.
isn't it? Sorry. So I had just gotten off a shift at Hollywood Video, and so it's after midnight. And so I roll into Mike and his roommate Bill. They let me in the back door, and as I instantly step into this Super Smash Brothers tournament / Iron Drunk drinking contest,
Oh boy.
I instantly step into vomit. That's the
Oh,
very
no.
first. Yeah.
Oh no.
So you know what we're
Wait,
walking into. We're walking-
wait. Is this the kind of house where you have to take your shoes off at the door? Or
No,
you had your shoes on.
did
Okay,
not
okay.
I had my shoes on, so I just walked back out, walked outside, and wiped it off.
Was
But
it hardwood
so-
floor carpet or hardwood carpet?
regular carpet? Just regular
there-
carpet.
Was there egg or ham by chance in the bowl?
No, Dave. Don't go there, Dave. I
No.
can't do that today. I
But
can't
we
do the
will.
ham story today. We're
Just
gonna have to.
checking.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Well, I need to set up a little more. So I step out, clean my shoe off. I walk back in, miss the vomit. Like I said, there's about 15 people there, and they're all drinking pretty heavily, and that's fine.
Okay.
So to recap that shift while I was at Hollywood Video, Bill and Mike recapped me what they did today, and they had gone out to the Goodwill and purchased some 1980s gym shorts and tank top.
Ooh, I like
So
where
they
this is
both
going.
had
All right.
matching 1980s tiny John Stockton shorts with a tank top, and they were going to play racquetball with that. And so
Love it.
Hey, could you explain to the audience who John Stockton is?
John Stockton was an NBA player who was famous for wearing really
Don't you
tiny
ever
shorts.
trash on my sports again?
Dave, stop fucking interrupting my story. So I get here, people are playing Super Smash Brothers in the living room. Great, I'm gonna get ready to set up to go into that. But I make my way to the kitchen, and I see the other contestant of Iron Drunk sitting on the floor in the kitchen, just absolutely shit-faced drunk. And I look above him, and they've got a scorecard, like a tally, a scorecard, and they're up to upwards of 20 shots on each side. They each have 20 shots of vodka down. And so I'm very concerned for my friend Mike. And I walk out, and Bill, his roommate, is just like, yeah, he currently, as you stepped in his vomit, he is currently changing his search. So it was my buddy's vomit who I stepped in, and he's changing and was going to come out. And so he opens up the door, and he is absolutely wearing that tiny little shorts and gym shirt that he bought from the Goodwill today. However, the gym shorts were on top of his head, and the tank top was on his bottoms because
balls out.
yeah, oh yeah. So because he was too drunk to figure out how to put his clothes on. So we had to escort him back to his room.
It was just like
where-
that movie Jingle All the Way.
It's like it.
It's the same setup. This is actually where they came up with that idea for that movie.
Oh boy.
So Bill escorted his roommate back to his room, and we started talking, and probably about 10 minutes goes by, and we're just like, has anyone seen Mike? He hasn't come out of his room from trying to change again. And so, all right, well, Bill takes it up. His roommate takes up the responsibility to go check on him. And so he walks over to the door and cracks it open, and I look at him, and he instantly shuts the door. And I'm like, what's wrong, buddy? What's wrong, Bill? And he's like, you got to come over and see this. And I'm like, ooh, this is where bad starts. I don't really want to see whatever is behind this door. But he's like, no. You got to come. You got to come back and see this. And so I walk back to his room, and Bill opens the door for me. And that motherfucker is passed out on the floor he's like in the fetal position, but his balls are sticking out the backside, and that's what's right at the door. So just his balls to my face basically as soon as I walk in the door. And I just am like, Bill, you piece of shit. What a terrible prank to play on me. And so as we're laughing about it, we go over to try to help him because, we're his friends. And so we try to put some underwear on him. And as we're doing this...
By the way,
yes,
you can visualize yourself in a scenario of having to put underwear on a grown man with his balls hanging out. That's just not a good time.
It's not good.
It's not a good time. Are you by this point, are you mad that you even came to the party at all? I would assume.
I mean, so we're like a solid 15 minutes into this party.
Oh, this is quick.
I don't really know what to think. This is super quick. Like I stepped in his vomit. He's super drunk as I get there. It's past midnight, like I said. So the party's in well beyond full swing. And so,
oh boy,
everyone takes a look at Mike's balls, and we all have a good laugh. And so,
Those
yeah.
sound good.
Oh, yeah. So Bill and I go, like I said, another side story that we need to mention right before we get to this part of the story is that, have you guys ever heard of a fast food place called Sonic?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Dude, we were living in Tennessee, man.
Okay,
Come on,
just
dude.
making sure. So this is back in the time when Sonic just came to Omaha.
Okay.
And so Sonic the
Not
restaurant.
Hedgehog.
Not the hedgehog.
yes.
Right.
Sonic the burger place.
Sonic the
Just
hedgehog
came
is
to Omaha.
fast. Sonic the restaurant is slow. That's how you know.
You know,
It-
Sonic, where me and Nathan
you,
used to eat our free Pizza Plus pizzas in
Oh,
the Sonic
yeah.
drive-thru.
Yeah. True.
So as they also let me know that day that they tried Sonic for the first time to see if I had tried it yet, and I had not
Wait,
yet.
they
because
tried Sonic the restaurant or Sonic the game?
Sonic
for
the
first
restaurant.
time? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
this is the burgers. They had tried the burgers, they had tried the
Okay.
fries. It was delicious. They really enjoyed it. And as we go to put Mike's underwear on, the first wave of Sonic vomit comes out, and it's just all over the carpet.
What?
And it's terrible, just absolutely terrible. So I instantly drop Mike's leg. Like I was holding up the leg while Bill was putting on the underwear, and I instantly drop it and I leave the room. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. And so Bill convinces me, he's like, nah, man, we got to do this. We got to get at least his underwear on so we can get him to the fucking restroom so we can clean him off. Oh, this is becoming a hassle. Yeah, right. This is crazy. So I go back in, I grab the leg. It stanks. You know, it's Sonic vomit. It stinks.
Oh.
So
And he had just ate it too, so
The
it probably
vomit is
smelled.
Sonic the restaurant or Sonic the Hedgehog?
damn it.
I think the only reason I'm getting confused is because we do a game podcast. So I'm you know, like
The
I
game
hear
is
Sonic,
Super Smash
I
Brothers,
think
Steven.
about. Oh, okay.
Sonic didn't come
Sonic
into Smash
is
Brothers
the
until
restaurant.
the Switch version, I
Way
believe.
later. Yeah, way
Right.
later.
Do you think they'll ever put Sonic the restaurant in Smash Brothers?
I like how Dave just woke up, by the way.
Oh,
Uh,
what?
The story's getting interesting.
He
We're
just
not
woke
even
up.
halfway done with the story, Dave.
Oh my
so
God.
strap in.
Is it going to
You
get
might have to
This is
grosser?
a crazy story.
We've already had
yeah,
balls
your
and
parts are
puke.
definitely getting edited out.
Okay.
So anyway, as we go to put the underwear back on, wave number 2 of Sonic vomit comes out, and now at this point it is a solid mound, and so he's like starting to roll, and he gets his face all up in it. It's so fucking.
How
gross
good
at
of
this
friends
point.
were you with this guy? Because I got to
The
be pretty
best.
close friends. Okay.
Well,
all
Bill
right.
was his best friend, but I've only known Mike for like 2-3 months at this point.
Right.
And so, I just happened to be the guy at the time, and it's fine.
Okay.
So we get the underwear on, thank God. And by the time the underwear is on, the third wave had come out, and like it's all fucking over his room.
And this
It's
is all
so
carpet.
gross.
All carpet.
All
too,
carpet, 100% carpet. So fucking gross. So we drag Mike, and luckily it's in an apartment, so very short time. We drag.
Someone
Yes,
has an
Dave.
important question.
Right? Yeah. I want to know this
Did
too.
his balls get the vomit all over them?
Yeah, because you have to drag
There
him.
is no vomit on the balls.
This is so good.
He's in a
Oh,
green
lame.
puke zone.
I'm getting a little queasy with this story, but continue.
Right? Okay. So we drag Mike to the restroom, and he starts. We kind of let him sit there for a while, honestly, while we're trying to wrap up the party. The party kind of leaves at this point, so most of the people are gone. It's just the really close friends of Bill and Mike, and
Or the
so,
super drunk that can't leave.
or the super drunk. Yeah, the guy is still in the kitchen.
Like,
and
dying of alcohol poisoning.
Yes. Yep. So, and this is the point where I'm like the oldest one in the room, and I'm 24. So everyone else is we're all pretty young. We're all pretty stupid. And we go to check on Mike, and he is absolutely shivering on the floor now. And so now everything goes into panic mode.
Uh-oh.
And so we all think that there's alcohol poisoning, and we go to the internet to even look up what are some symptoms of alcohol poisoning, all that stuff. And so we're just like, oh, we gotta get him to vomit. Well, he already did vomit. Okay, we got that set, so we should be good, right? He got all that stuff out of him. Well, we decide, maybe he's just cold. He's sitting in his underwear on the floor, on the cold, bathroom floor. It's not good. So
Ew.
we just decide to get a blanket. So we pull the blanket off of his bed, and throw it over them. And while we're kind of setting this up, Mike, in his drunken stupor right by the toilet, starts like pulling off his underwear, and it's just like,
Oh, great.
Mike, what, you drunk bastard? Stop trying to pull off your underwear, right? We're trying to keep you warm and all that, so don't do that.
Right.
So
This is a family show.
Exactly. So he stops shivering, and so that's good. So he did warm up a bit, so that's good. And we decided to play a game of Smash Brothers, right? You know, I haven't done any Smash Brothers, so I do decide to go play a game of Smash Brothers. And
I thought you guys
while
were
we're
like
playing-
about to play Sonic or something. I thought.
Oh boy.
God damn it. I'm trying to get through this story. It's already long, right? So anyway.
He's staying in the bathroom, right? He's still in the bathroom.
He's in the
Okay,
bathroom. We're
all right. outside
outside playing Smash Brothers, and all of a sudden, the person on the couch starts, you know, what?
Oh no.
What's that smell?
Oh no.
Oh no. What? So we all rush into the bathroom. Nope, there will be none of that. So we all rush into the bathroom to check on Mike again, and this motherfucker had shat himself hard, like a hard shat.
Oh.
And it is all over the place, and it's so gross. So it's done. The party is over. I gotta go. At this point, I leave. And so from here on out is the recollection of Bill's girlfriend, and Mike when he woke up. So from here on out, they end up putting him in his bed and, you know, taking
Did
care
you
of
guys
him.
have to clean the poop up off of his bum?
We're getting there.
Okay, all right.
So Bill's girlfriend, bless her heart, cleans up all the Sonic vomit so that it's all out of his room. She was a wonderful, wonderful human being. Probably
That's
still is.
Sonic
I
the
don't know where she
restaurant, not Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, great.
Oh, thanks for somebody finally clarifying it. You should probably mention that every time you mention it.
So
I won't have to ask.
Bill's
over and
girlfriend
over
cleans
if you
up the
just call it
Sonic-
Sonic the restaurant.
Sonic
so
the
Bill's
restaurant.
girlfriend cleans up the Sonic the restaurant vomit.
Take it.
Okay.
And
Now I'm following the story.
And the story wakes up when Mike wakes up. And so Mike gets up after hearing Bill and his girlfriend kind of arguing a little bit after a really terrible party. And so, yeah, right. I would be too. I'd be pretty pissed off if I was cleaning up this dude's
understandable.
vomit.
Poop and vomit
Yep.
everywhere. Yeah.
It's bad. It's real bad. And so Mike comes out of his room and he's like, "What happened last night?" And to Bill's girlfriend, and Bill's girlfriend just was like, "You need to ask your friend Bill," and just really upset. And so Bill then comes out, and Bill turns to Bill and is like, "What happened?" And so they start recollecting the story. Do you remember this? You know, where do you black out? And so Bill finally catches Mike up to the whole thing, and Bill turns to him and is like, "Did you ever clean up the shit?" And Mike's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And he checks the back of him, and it's just hardened, dried up shit all over him.
In the bed.
So he instantly goes to his bedroom and looks, and the sheets are just shit. Shit sheets everywhere.
Oh no. Dude, it's time to just this is one of those situations where it's just time to just forget your belongings and just get a new apartment and start over. Just start over.
And he does.
Fresh start.
He does. He throws all the sheets away.
Oh yeah.
And so that is easily the worst story I ever lived through.
Let me just say this, guys. For anybody that didn't catch this part of the story, Dymlos is a really good friend. Because I gotta say, no offense, but you know, like Steve, you're probably my closest friend I've ever had my entire life. But if you puked, I might help you with the puke, okay? But then you shit yourself. I mean, it is
so
what it
bad.
is. You know,
Listen, no matter how wasted I am, I have so much dignity
yeah.
that you would never have to clean.
I know.
up my shit.
Yeah,
I can handle it no
He's
matter how
right.
wasted.
Steve is a very
Let me-
dignified drunk.
let me
Actually,
say
I
this,
agree with
too.
that. When he's
We've
drunk,
all lived in houses with as bad as stories as this. We all lived in a house together.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. We just let those people lay in the shit. and
we just let
vomit.
him
We
do
don't
it.
care.
Yeah, we had so real
It's
quick,
not
we
responsibility.
we have a real quick story because we didn't have much involvement, so this story's gonna be real quick. Okay, we had a buddy who had a girlfriend. Okay, and they went in the bedroom, shut the door. You know, you can guess what was going on. the door, we're all just out there drinking, talking, having a good time. All of a sudden we hear, help me, somebody help me. And the door swings open and she's so drunk that she's dragging herself, right, across the carpet. Like, somebody help me. And she had puke all over her back. And we were just like, get to the bathroom now. And we just shut her in there. We just
stayed sitting on the couch the whole time.
We just made sure the door was shut so she had privacy, and that was it. That was the most help you're getting.
We got a million stories like that.
Yeah. So, we
got a million.
I think this really proves that Dymlos is a really good friend. A really good friend.
I appreciate that.
He's a better friend than I would be.
Yeah, I couldn't do all that. Puking maybe a little bit, but I wouldn't even be able to do that much because that would make me puke. But pooping yourself, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not wiping your booty hole. It's just done.
Yeah, I ain't
it's
doing
done.
that.
We didn't either. We let him go in his bed.
I'm gonna take him outside and hose him down.
That's what I'm saying. I would drag him outside, and I'd only even try it if I had like a high-powered hose that would almost kind of hurt him a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Teach him a lesson.
If I have to suffer,
teach him a little lesson. Yeah, or really cold.
Yeah.
Teach him a lesson. That's what I would think.
0 degrees outside.
Wow,
It was a crazy story. That was one of the wildest things I've ever lived through. So scandalous,
man.
Oh, dude, wait till you hear. Just give us a year of telling stories. You're gonna be like, oh my god, who are these people I'm doing this podcast with?
Dave almost told a story that I'm gonna gag when he tells that story. I'm not looking forward to it. It's so gross. All right, we're moving on. So for anybody that doesn't know, the producer told me I had to mention this, and I'm sorry, Dave, to rub on wounds, but it's a little salt to the wound. But normally at this time we would move on to sports, but sports has been canceled thanks to feedback from the community.
We do have a good UFC fight coming up.
And ratings dropping. So we're going to be skipping that, and it looks like we're actually moving on to community calls.
Community calls.
We're gonna take some calls.
Community calls.
I love hearing calls.
You call in.
Yeah?
We'll answer.
That's so?
Community calls.
Sounds great.
It's community calls. All right. So it looks like we checked the voice box when we got in here. The voicemail, whatever you want to call it. So we checked our voicemail for our sacred hotline, and it looks like we had a few people call in, so we definitely want to play those messages. Why don't we go ahead and hear that first caller up first?
Hello, this is at GameStop. I was giving y'all a call because I'm trying to send my PlayStation 1, and I'm trying to cover some of my funeral expenses coming up. If you could
What's going on?
please return my call. I know y'all still bought them King sales. So if you could just return my call to 423-555-1873. Thank you so much.
Was that
Well,
guy?
at least he left his number.
Yeah,
I think that he got confused and thinks that we're a GameStop. It sounded
was
like.
he try? I could hardly understand his accent. It was so thick. Was he trying to sell a PS1?
Yeah, to cover funeral expenses.
Yeah, I heard that funeral expenses.
Funeral
His own
expenses.
funeral. I want.
His
He said a
own
funeral coming up.
His
Yeah,
funeral.
must be his. That's sad. I hope
That
he got
is
hold
ex-
of them.
Yeah, well, if you're out there, man, listen, life is good. You need to.
We are not GameStop either.
And also,
Yes,
GameStop
we do.
doesn't take PS1s. I
They
don't
don't.
believe.
You need to go to like the flea market and set up
Well,
shop, buddy.
somebody give him a call and help
I'll
him
call
out.
him back. Once you get Sheila to call him, she's good with this kind of thing.
That's true. Sheila, go ahead and give that guy back. Yeah. Shut up.
Just make her a cheese note.
All right. Well, that was weird.
Yeah. Okay. So we got another one. So let's go ahead and hear that next call that we got.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy. I was just giving you guys a call because my friend said that you guys make the most awesome podcast. Is that what it's called about video games? I think that's what it's called. Well, I would love to be on there one day, and maybe this will make it. I know that you guys probably have so many people trying to call out and get on here, but I just really love Grandpa's playing games, and I just couldn't be any happier. My grandpa, he loves to do things like hunt and fish. He doesn't really play games, but it'd be so cool if he did. Maybe I'll show him this and he'll love it too. Thank you guys so much.
Oh my gosh, that's a real fan right there.
What is hunt and fish? I'm not familiar with
Hunt
that.
and fish.
Oh, he likes to hunt and fish. Oh,
His grandpa hunts and fish, but we play video games, so he thinks we're cool.
I got a bad feeling about if Jimmy shows him this podcast, I don't think his grandpa's gonna like it very much.
No, especially not after that story Dymlos told. Sorry about that story, Jimmy. If you hear that.
Jimmy. Yeah,
But
this
hey,
is not a show for
get this
children.
guy- We gotta get this. He wants to be on the show. We gotta get this guy on the show.
This is definitely not a show for children. By the way, I want to make that very clear.
We will have Jimmy on here though as a guest.
I think we should
I would
maybe
have
get
him
him
on
on.
here.
Okay,
We could
we'll
do
try
an
to get
interview
Jimmy
with
on.
him. We'll do an interview with him. or
Okay, we'll
something.
get Jimmy on. Do we have any contact? I don't think we do.
He left some with Sheila.
Oh, okay.
good.
Sheila's
That's
got it.
good.
All right, cool.
And I
Hopefully
believe
she didn't write it on
there
some
was
cheese.
there we actually have another call, and then after that, a fan sent in something kind of interesting. But let's go and hear that third call.
Hey guys,
Oh boy.
it's me, a little common sense. I'm calling about Dymlos.
Oh,
How dare you talk about the Wii?
No, it's not the way.
As
Here we fucking
if
go.
it changed the world when all it ever did was suck. Dymlos, fuck you.
Jesus.
wow!
That was the whole message.
You could tell by how they called in. They were really passionate about that. Fuck you, the Dymlos.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Dang.
Wow.
You didn't
I'm
like
crying
that.
over
You
here.
got to reply to that guy, to that.
I can't
person-
believe someone wasted their time making that message to
Dude,
me
they
when they
auto-tuned
can
it.
go fuck themselves.
They auto-tuned it and everything.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, that was all the callers we got this week. But interestingly enough, to our email account for Game Geezin, a fan actually sent us in like a little tribute song that he wrote about us, and it's kind of interesting. So
A song.
we want to play that for you guys.
Really listen to it.
It's our
Listen
first
to
fan
it.
song. Sweet. All right, here, let's listen. Okay. All right.
Okay. Not bad. Oh,
Ooh, I like this.
Got that old school
He
video.
got a game on the name too. We got a game, in the room here. We got a game, games of games. Got a game, games. Got a game, games. We got a game, games. We got a game,
Nice.
All I heard was
Interesting.
Game
I
Geezin.
loved it.
I definitely understood the Game Geezin
Did
part. I
anyone
couldn't
make
really.
anything else out?
Not really. There was.
Nope.
I like it when he was repeating something in the background. You know, it was really hitting on the beat there.
That
you know,
a little intriguing.
I like that.
I'm not sure
Nathan,
what's
if you
that.
could make that like a reward, like when someone donates some money to the channel and it plays
Ooh.
that.
Oh, that's
I think
pretty
we,
good.
I think we have a new theme song.
I like that actually. Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
pretty wild. Whoever
what-
made that.
Thank
that guy
you.
Definitely. I'm not saying it's like an amazing vocal job or anything, but
No.
that guy's got a little bit of talent. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
I would say.
Oh yeah.
I would say he's showing a
us.
spark of talent there for sure. Whoever did that.
Thank
Great
you
job.
for sending that in, X Lord 79. That was the guy that sent it.
X Lord 79.
Lord 79.
X Lord
So
79.
listen, dude, your song's pretty good. You could work on the name. I wouldn't like be releasing albums under X Lord 79. It's just my advice. Just my advice. Who
Well,
am I?
I don't think that was his artist name. That was just his email.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all
okay.
that
Oh.
we got. Unfortunately, he didn't say his name. or
X-Lord
anything
79
like that.
at Outlook.
Well, I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say the whole thing because I didn't want him to get harassed by people.
At yahoo.com.
I mean, I think he's got a bunch of followers now. He at least has 4 right here.
yeah.
That's true. It was a Gmail. It was a Gmail.
There you go. Fully doxed. Fully doxed. All right.
You've been doxxed.
Send him money.
All right. I think is that all we got, Steve?
Yeah, I think that's all the calls that we had. Looks like maybe we'll get a couple of new ones next week. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. Here we go.
News it. News it. News it. What's the name of this show?
Hey everybody, welcome to new. What is that? New shit. New shit.
No,
News
no.
hit.
Right?
It's news hit, guys.
Hey,
News
you ruin
shit.
this every time. It's news shit. It's shares the S. It's news and shit because
I'm pretty sure I've got a
It's
piece of
nooshin'
cheese.
it, like having a good time, nooshin' it with your
I have
friends.
a piece of cheese right here, verifying that it is new shit from the producer.
Guys, there's literally zero. Like, I know we get a little crazy on the show, but that pisses the producer off every time we do. So there's literally zero chance that he would name a section of the show with the word shit in it. It is
Yeah, right.
absolutely.
Thank you.
I think it was actually a mistake. They meant to do the space. They didn't fix it. Then the producer got in a car accident, but yada, yada, yada.
So
So
what
I
it's supposed to be?
news
Nooshin' it.
hit. No, nooshin' it doesn't even make sense. That's
Yes,
not
because
even,
the whole thing's a typo. It's supposed to say nooshin' it.
not even a thing. It's got to be news hit. The
All
hits
right,
of
well,
the
here we
news.
go.
I know
Let's
somebody
get
on the
started.
board. They said it was nooshin' it.
Let's get started with new shit.
Okay,
News
whatever.
hit.
We're moving to a pretty wild story about a woman who got 21 years after trying to poison a doppelganger with cheesecake.
I know what this sounds like, but this story is from NPR. This is absolutely fucking real news. This
This
is
is
as
real.
real as it
horrible
gets.
too.
This is real.
This is one of
this a Russian woman living in New York City. Keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
Okay.
Keep that
Yep.
in mind.
So two women living across the hall from each other in New York City. One is Russian, one I think is Ukrainian. Some sort of they look
Oh,
very
snap.
similar. Obviously
Okay.
enough to be a doppelganger, right? And so
They looked
this
a lot
Russian
like
woman.
Okay.
Yeah. So this Russian woman was looking to take over this other woman's life. She was going to poison her with cheesecake and take her identity.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa,
steal her
okay.
whole life.
Oh, I got this backwards. I thought she saw the lady and thought she was the doppelganger. So this lady thought she was the doppelganger to the other
So-
lady?
So it really
Basically, she was trying to steal her identity, so they are saying a doppelganger because she
Oh,
looked like her close
it's a
enough where the lady
buzzword.
thought that
Okay.
she could take
Oh,
her over.
I thought they really did think there was doppelganger activity.
No, this
Okay,
is
my
not
bad.
Dungeons
My
and
bad.
That has
Dragons.
nothing
Okay,
to do
sorry.
with why she tried to do
no
it.
shape-shifting.
Okay, so she was trying to
characters.
take her. She was just trying to take her identity. Okay.
Yeah, yes. Take her
Okay.
identity, but also
Allegedly.
murder her.
Allegedly.
No. She got 21 years in jail.
Well,
so, okay.
Could still
So-
be, sometimes innocent
Yeah,
people.
but no, dude, you don't know the rest of the
This
details.
goes,
I don't.
This
Okay.
goes crazy. This goes absolutely crazy. So,
All right.
not only does the woman eat the cheesecake with the poison inside it, it makes her vomit. She gets really sick. The Russian woman goes back to her place, takes her passport, takes her, all of her stuff, and the woman comes back to her house to find all this stuff is missing. Well, the other woman didn't know she was dead. Well, it turns out this fucking Russian woman already did this back in 2004 in Russia.
Yeah.
And she is wanted for murder.
Oh my
No, it was
gosh.
murder. She actually did it.
Yeah.
She murdered the woman and came to America and here she is 14 years trying to do it again because Russia found her and is trying to send her back to Russia to convict her. So she tried to do it again here in the United States. Fucking
Yes, this is
nuts.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
This is real life.
No,
She was convicted by a jury.
wow.
Yeah.
Russian jury.
Okay,
whatever.
so according to the court of law, she's killed somebody in Russia to escape
Took
from
their
being
identity,
and then pretended
came
like,
to America.
and then found another woman.
The
that she was
Russians
gonna take
found
her-
her. She needed to bail again, so she found another woman that just so happened to live across the street from
and
her.
she was going to try to use
to do
her
it
to go
again.
to another country to try to escape again.
Yes.
From
Yeah.
wow, and
Fucking
to use,
nuts.
and she was going to use a cheesecake.
She
Poison.
did.
Yeah.
She
It
administered
worked.
the poison through
So she-
cheesecake.
she did
but
kill
she
the other
vomited
lady.
it out.
No,
The other
she
lady
fell.
vomited.
Oh my god.
And this happened in New
She
York.
survived.
Oh,
this
she
time.
survived because she vomited. Okay. Kind of
Yeah,
like
you
your
gotta wonder
buddy.
if it was a New York style cheesecake.
Now, guys, let's get into something.
Yeah,
let's
what was
get
the
on to
quality?
Something that can actually make us some money here.
Well, hang on a
all
second
right?
though. Before we move on, does it say anything about the news article about the quality of the cheesecake? I am interested. Was it
not
homemade?
Cheesecake Factory.
Was it
not
from a
Cheesecake
store?
Factory.
Was it store
Does
bought
not
or
mention
homemade?
anything.
It does not mention it.
It was
dang
actually
it.
from my restaurant.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna
guys.
find out. All right, but anyway.
Fireballs flew over Maine, and they are rewarding people $25,000.
25,000
to get space rock pieces, and I don't
over
know.
Maine.
Somebody break this down to me. Is
I
this,
gotta go. I'll see you guys
is-
later. I got
is
something I
this-
gotta do
Is
now.
this per piece, or is this just
Yep.
like if I
Yeah.
bring a bunch of pieces?
Any
I'll get
piece of it. It's
25,000?
according to the article, it's any piece of it. So they want all the
So
pieces.
It's
They want
25,000
the
per
first
piece.
kilogram. They want the first kilogram.
Dude,
So
okay.
why though? What they just
are
wanted
we
to
at?
test them?
Because
You
we
know,
doing
there's
this?
some good minerals in there they want to use for something.
Why
Did
are we
the-
here?
What do you
Why
mean?
are we
Why
in
are we
Maine
here?
right now? Why
Yeah,
are
here-
we
we
should
doing
go.
Because it's on private property. You have to get a
Who
permit to get on
cares,
that.
man? We did crazier stuff than
Yeah.
that when we were young.
that? Yeah, we don't care. We just heard your story, so have you.
Why are they so worried about these pieces? There's something going on here, guys.
They just want to
There's
sell it.
probably-
It's
there's
going to
probably
be rare.
minerals in it, I would assume.
Guys, I hate to be that guy, but
Oh God.
NASA is spending this much money to collect every single last piece of this meteor. The government is known to hide things. NASA works for the US government. They're so concerned about pieces of this meteor getting out and people finding them and maybe doing individual research on them. Bro,
All I'm saying is this is how Earthbound started.
We gotta start.
Yeah, it's
vetting.
true.
We gotta
It-
start,
That
that's
is
what I'm gonna
true.
lie. We
It
need to
kinda
start
looked
vetting
like
these
Maine.
news stories a little better to try to keep Nathan under control.
oh my gosh, guys, I just realized
Realize.
something even crazier about this story. Oh my gosh, this slipped right by me until this exact moment.
What?
Maine is where Stephen King
God.
stories take place.
Oh,
Maine.
yeah.
That's like
You're
where
right,
every
dude.
Stephen King story takes place, and now there's a meteor with pieces, and NASA's involved. They're like, oh yeah, we'll pay huge sums of money for these meteor pieces.
But is Stephen King involved? What's that
Dude,
gonna do with anything?
because
I'm
this
just
is gonna
saying.
be that movie Slither.
Slither.
All right.
Slither
all right,
2.
all
This is-
right, we've
they're
got
actually
it.
just
It's going
filming.
happening
They're
in
actually,
real life.
This is just one of those
Slither
big
2,
ads.
the Slitherist.
This is just actually a big ad for Slither 2, actually. This
Yeah,
whole,
yeah,
this
go
whole
check
thing.
it out.
Gotcha,
in theaters.
bitches.
October 26, 2027.
We're joking. That's a real story. That's our theory that it's a Slither 2 ad.
That's our theory.
So I'm gonna hop
Flat Moon,
on
for
to
sure.
something real quick. That's a little game-ish, a little movie-ish, a little something that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
That is not.
Is this your official
this isn't
story
my
or no?
story yet.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay,
this
okay.
is the.
This is still news. Okay. This is still a news
Yeah,
hit.
this is news. It could be under game news, but I'm gonna go for it here.
Okay.
We got a movie coming out this year, October. Fans of this series have been waiting for years and years and years.
I'm sorry, Dave. I hate to interrupt, but somebody in chat just said something so hilarious. I got him repeated on the podcast. They said that maybe those were pieces of the flat moon. Okay, continue. I had to be on the podcast. I could not let this go without that being on there. Okay, go
Black
ahead.
Moon. All right, so we got a, and I know we may be a little too old to get a full enjoyment out of this compared to younger people. The FNAF movie, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie,
Yeah.
has been something in development for like 5 years now. They've gone through like 3 directors because of differences with the writer, that Scott Cawthon guy or whatever. He's so peculiar about his writing that he actually would get these directors fired instantly if they had any issues with the stuff.
Dang.
Yeah, they're
Do
finally.
you think,
They're
do you
finally
think
to
that this is the
part.
10-year project that Microsoft's working on?
No. It's coming under, it is a Blumhouse movie, Blumhouse, whatever they're called. The exciting part about it is the cast has been lined up, and it's a really nice looking cast.
Who's the cast?
What do you mean by nice looking? The way you said that feels a little.
It looks really good. So who
Oh.
the cast is
Oh, okay? I thought you meant like they physically look nice. Like that's a good looking crew.
They kind of do, but
Okay,
who it
all
is Matthew Lillard, right? Who
Okay.
plays who played
Scooby
Shaggy.
Douche.
Yeah.
Scooby
You
Doo.
got Josh Hutcherson from The Hunger Games.
Right.
You know,
I
so
like that guy.
yeah,
That
he's
Future
funny.
Man
He's
show he
hilarious.
was in was great.
So you've got those two, but the rest are kind of no names right now. But the most exciting part
Okay.
that's been announced is that they are not using, CGI. They are using animatronics.
I
that were
love
made
it.
by the Jim Henson Studio.
Bam.
Awesome.
Bam.
Awesome.
That is awesome because
I
Jim
actually do
Henson
think
is
that's
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and,
Like,
and
it's gonna
I'm
be
not
really
a fan of those games literally at all.
Right, me either.
Not in any kind of way. But
I'm not either.
I will watch this movie when it comes out for free for streaming.
I'm not either. But if you do not know what the
For
story
free.
is about, it's actually
That's
really
the only way.
It's dark.
I
It
may
is
enjoy it
dark.
though.
it sounds
But that's
scary.
why I'm watching it.
Here's the deal.
It is a messed up premise.
It really should appeal to people our age because we all went to Chuck E. Cheese and we all
It
saw
really
those
should.
broken, weird little,
It
old.
kind of is targeted towards people like us who
Yeah.
grew up on Chuck E. Cheese.
Which I actually think is cool. Like, forget about the games. Like, I think
Yeah.
when you're
idea.
our age, forget about the games.
Right.
Like, look at this as just like, oh, this is like a horror movie based on the idea of like if a Chuck E. Cheese type place
Right.
went
And serial
haywire.
killers possess the animatronics.
I hope
yeah.
I hope it's the kind of
Sure.
movie where they take the premise and make a good movie out of it, and it's good for everybody, kind of like they did with the Mario movie, whether you're a fan or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Right?
That's
it's just
what
a
I'm
good.
hoping.
It's just a good horror movie.
But now to get into the most important news, get into the most important news of the week. All right, let me pull my
Lumber.
stuff up.
Wait a minute, Dave. I got a special for this because we
okay.
can all agree. I'm not trying to be mean. I love you, Dave, like a brother, but your stories, they're kind of weird.
Whoa, now.
They kind of suck. But anyway, here we go. Get a bump. It's time for Dave to tell us a news story. It's probably not going to shock you or surprise you. It's probably not even a good news story, but Dave thinks it is. So we play along. Dave's Weird Ass Stories.
Hey guys, welcome to the most important news story of the week, possibly the month. This is a big one for me. Probably is a big one for most people listening right now. Even if if you hear this in a year from now, it's really going to hit. So what happened is, this is pretty wild.
Okay.
A cow wandered into a hardware store in Israel, right? The owner, now check this out. The owner,
Oh, boy.
Julie Goldstein, owned this shop. She said the cow, are you ready for this? The cow caused $800 worth of damages from knocking paint off. It spilled paint all over the place, right?
Well, dude, if that's not a bull in a china shop situation, I don't know what is.
stole my joke.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
They
man.
said they were used to birds coming into the shop.
What? What's up with
Birds.
this place?
This
Close
is-
your windows and doors, you
I
idiots.
know, good lord.
This is the first time.
Put out some poison.
This is the first time they've had a cow into the shop.
poison.
And I think that's something, a story we can all hear and relate to a little bit. So,
Okay.
I just wanted to, let everybody know.
How would we
Thank you.
all relate
Thank
to
you.
that? That's a question I've got. How would
Dig
we all?
deep.
I don't,
That hits me deep, Dave. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't get it.
Well,
I don't
just think about your life. Your life is that shop, right?
Oh, right.
and-
Okay.
And you let a cow in sometimes, and it destroys some important stuff sometimes, and then you just got to make sure you rebuild it.
I mean, to
no,
be
dude,
honest, for a
That is
whole,
like my life.
for a giant bovine to be in a store, I feel like $800 of damage is not that bad, though.
Yeah, honestly,
it,
yeah.
it was mainly paint. It was mainly paint.
Mainly paint.
$800 in paint.
I guess that's quite a bit of paint. And $800 worth of paint. It's quite a bit, I guess. But
Yeah.
where do you? I don't even know where he finds this stuff because they're all real
This is a
stories.
good one.
If
It's
you
one of my
Google,
favorite ones.
Dave's not making this stuff up. Somehow
No, these are
he
real.
finds this. All right. Well, anyway, what else we got?
Oh, we've got a pretty interesting one here.
Okay.
A gold miner found a grapefruit-sized fur ball.
Okay.
Guess what it was?
What was it?
What?
It was a squirrelio.
A squirrelio.
A squirrel?
Like a squirrel?
Yeah.
Was it alive?
No, it was an ancient prehistoric squirrel.
A prehistoric squirrel.
Yeah.
Really?
From the Ice Age.
Wow, I'm looking at a picture of it. That is disgusting, dude. That's right out of
It is disgusting. It is disgusting.
That's out of a horror movie right there. That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
Of course,
Look
they
at the
didn't know it was a
claws
squirrel
on
at
that.
first. They didn't know what the heck it was.
Dude, I would think that was a demon.
They had to get it analyzed.
I like
to find
it. It's
out.
cute.
It's 30,000 years old. The squirrel.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
It was
really
literally.
crazy.
Have you seen that movie Ice Age before?
Yeah.
Remember the little squirrel at the beginning trying to get his nut?
Trying to get his nut. It does look like him, actually.
That's him. That's what it was.
Oh my gosh, it really was him. It turns out that was a documentary. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it turns out this is we know what actually happened to him.
Aren't we all just trying to get our nut?
I mean, I got a shipment of pecans in today that Mom sent me.
You know, this is a pretty weird one. I feel like we're gonna
I'm just
have to.
really confused about this story,
Yeah.
honestly.
Like, how did all this go down? How did they figure out it was a squirrel? How do they know for sure it's a squirrel? I think we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do this game, Geezin style. We're gonna have to
Let's play this out.
Sure.
Let's play this out and see if we can get. We usually get to the bottom of these stories.
The
So
RP scenario.
yeah, role play. Let's do a little role play.
Here
So,
we go.
who wants to be the miner? I'm willing to be one of them, and we could do two.
Okay,
'cause
I'll be-
He wouldn't
yeah,
be mining by
yeah.
himself. I would think there'd
Certainly
be an
not.
operation. of
Miner
some sort.
buddies.
Yeah, so we're miner buddies. Let's say that we are good old friends. We go way back because we both worked for this mining operation for a while. All right. To give you a little
Makes sense.
backstory, little character backstory. We need somebody to be the squirrel. Any volunteers for squirrel duty? All right, Dave's the squirrel, and that makes Steve. That makes you be the veterinarian.
Technically a paleontologist, but yes.
Oh, paleontologist, perfect. I like the way you think. All right, so here we go. Where was this? Were we in a cave when they found it? Does it say? Let's see. I gotta figure out where they were. Does it even say?
It was
where
an
they were?
Arctic ground squirrel.
Anyway, we'll make that detail.
It was near a creek. It was near a creek out in the
Dawson
Klondike
City,
Goldfields.
Yukon.
Oh, Dawson's Creek. Are you serious right now?
No,
Dawson City.
Exeter Creek in the
in Yukon.
Klondike Goldfields.
Okay. All right. So we're at this creek. Mining.
Oh.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
what was that?
What was that? I didn't see it.
It was a weird sound that you made over there.
That was kind of a weird. I thought maybe I just hit a patch of mud, but
Gross. I've never heard anything like that.
dude, it's furry. Come on,
Pull it
help me.
out, pull it out.
We're gonna have to use our hands, dude, because this could be something
Oh,
serious.
gross.
Help me out, man. It's kind of big.
Oh, this is worse than the time I had to put underwear back on Bill.
It kind of looks like his nuts, actually. I was there for that. All right, so it's coming out.
What is this? What is this?
Oh,
It's like grapefruit-sized ball of fur.
dude, it's exactly grapefruit size. That was very good, actually. It's a good analogy. It's got
thank you.
claws. Do you see that, dude?
Yeah, it's gross. Is this like some old roadkill? What is this?
I don't know, but it looks like it might actually be alive. Hello?
What?
Dude, I think I saw a twitch. I swear. Are you
Hold
there?
on, hold on.
Let me poke it. Get a stick. Get a stick. Let's poke it. Okay.
Poke, poke, poke.
I don't know, dude. I think it's twitching a little bit. Should we call the foreman?
All right.
It talks!
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Hello, can I help you?
Dude, hold up.
Did that squirrel just talk?
Dude, if you talk to the squirrel, I'm gonna go get an expert. I'll be right back.
Can I help you?
I've never met a talking squirrel. How are you?
Why'd you pull me out of my house?
Out of your house? You were underground. We thought you were dead.
You son of a bitch! I was hibernating.
Buddy,
okay.
I've got this paleontologist with me, a real expert in the field.
How convenient that a paleontologist is here with us.
I know.
Oh, wow.
We had great luck.
Wow.
Sir, if you could take a
Okay,
look.
let me just take a look here. Okay, so just as I tried to convince you back in my office, but you wouldn't listen to me, I think it would be best if you guys came back with me back to my lab so we can actually figure out what this thing is.
We're gonna have to pick you up, little guy. Can you roll?
I put the squirrel in a bag. I put the squirrel in a plastic bag.
Send it back, please.
No, dude, we gotta figure out your.
Here, let me come over there for a second. I'm just gonna give it an inject. I'm just gonna give it a little injection here. It will just completely numb it so it can't fight back. Then we can take it wherever we want.
No.
I'm a little shocked he knows English too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess where did he learn the English from? I'm glad he's passed out.
What are you guys talking about? I don't hear anything.
What? Are you serious?
You
You
don't
don't hear it
hear anything?
Uh, Anyway, let's just get back to the
Oh,
lab.
dude, it might be the shroom we did
no.
earlier. Don't tell the
No,
boss.
don't tell the doctor. Don't tell the doctor.
I'm not
All
the
right.
police. Let's just get back to the lab, please.
right, let's get back-
let's get
back.
This is a waste
Can
of
you
my
drive?
time. Yes. good
We're
lord.
minors. We don't have a car.
Yeah. We
Okay,
ride.
I'll
we,
drive.
We've
I'll
got
drive.
mules.
Let's get back to the lab so I can let me take it out. 15 minutes later. Okay, we're back at the lab.
That's a nice lab you got here.
Go ahead and hand me. Thank you. Go ahead and hand me that thing, that fur ball thing.
It is a little odd that you have a poster of Pamela Anderson in your laboratory, but whatever.
Hey, a man likes what he likes.
What are all these bright lights?
All right, let me just take a
Can you
look
hear
here.
that?
Do you hear that?
He's worried about the bright lights.
What is happening to
Let's see here.
I think
oh
I have a
my
telekinetic
God.
connection with the squirrel.
Do you all realize what this is?
Oh,
Now that I'm looking at the bones, I can.
What is it? It's
I
obviously.
mean, it's actually not. It's not quite recognizable until you see the little hands and these claws. And if you
Yeah.
look there, you can see a little tail. And then look there. There's the ears. Do you realize what you're looking at here?
Well, I'm looking at the
have no
butthole,
idea.
and it does
This
look like a
is-
mammal.
This is an Arctic ground squirrel from over 30 years ago. is
30
the last
years?
time that this
30
species
That's
existed.
not 30 years ago. That's
30,000 years. 30,000
30,000.
years.
Oh, oh.
Excuse me, I was thinking about when the last time I was thinking about Pam Anderson really in the hot and heavy.
Okay,
But,
okay.
yeah, 30,000 years ago.
Okay, listen.
Do you really not hear this?
This is going to be really weird, but I'm actually able to communicate with this squirrel, and so's my
I can't
buddy.
not hear him.
He's
Okay.
It's
saying
driving
he's
me
not.
nuts.
He's saying he's not that old, and maybe he's just embarrassed because that's like really old.
I'm not 30,000 years old.
How
Someone
do you-
say he's a
Let's
geezer
say
squirrel.
hypothetically that you're telling me the truth.
Okay.
Of course, the squirrel's not going to think that it's 30,000 years old because it's basically been in a deep sleep for the last 30,000 years.
I'm 12.
That
Oh,
makes sense.
but is it awake now?
He said he's 12.
Yeah, from what I can see, it looks like this specimen actually is dead.
What?
I mean, it's been
It's
sleeping
talking
for
to us.
30,000 years.
Are you
That's-
dead,
that's
Mr.
nice.
Squirrel?
That's
Are you
great.
dead?
What
Are
is
you-
happening?
Are you dead,
I
Mr.
think,
Squirrel?
I'm sweating. What is going on right
I mean,
now? The
aside-
squirrel is talking to me. The squirrel is talking to me.
I
I
think
know that
we're
you guys
dead.
maybe are just a little overexcited by this discovery. I mean, it's amazing to think this little guy was running around the Yukon several thousand years
Is it-
ago.
Right.
Is it
What did you
possible that
inject
we're
in the
dead?
squirrel?
I think we're dead.
I study bones all the time. I
Oh,
mean, because
my
I
gosh,
like
he
them.
really is dying now. He rolled
When you
away.
see-
He's getting away. He's gone.
I mean, from what I can see, he's still under the microscope, guys.
No,
you
I
need to
just
calm
saw
down.
him
I don't know
roll
what's
away.
going on. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what's happening.
When you see an animal this perfectly preserved that's 30,000 years old and you can see its face and its skin and its hair and all that, it's just so visceral. It really brings it to life. So I can definitely understand why you feel this way.
I'll see.
Wait, I heard it talk again. It's somewhere in this
It's
laboratory.
still talking. It's
It's
still talking to
somewhere.
us.
Or maybe we can hear it no matter how far away it is now. Maybe
Are you serious, Mr. Doctor? You did not hear the thing talking.
I think I need to go. Why don't you guys wait here with your squirrel friend? And I think I need to make a couple calls
Okay.
in the back office.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Find someone to help us. We're
all right. Yeah,
We're not.
that sounds great. Hey, dude, listen.
You guys need to run. He's calling
God.
somebody to come pick you
Listen.
up.
Why does he sound like a whammy from Press Your
Buddy,
Luck? It's
buddy,
driving me
calm
nuts.
down. Calm down, dude. This is our lucky day, dude. Mammoth meatballs are about to hit the market. We've got ancient squirrel balls we could sell. Do you understand how much money we're gonna make?
Yeah, they're
It's so
they're
fresh.
still
It's so
here.
fresh he's
They're
still alive.
here.
Guys, you need to run. You need to run.
Why do we need to
Yeah,
run,
I-
Mr.
I-
Squirrel
Squirrel?
is telling me I need to run.
He's calling
Yes, I'll try to keep
people
him
to
here.
come pick you up.
Oh,
God.
Try
snap!
to keep him
Oh, God,
I think
here.
we're crazy.
Let's run. We're
Get
running.
out
I'm out. We're gone.
And we jump on our mules and we
They're running.
ride off into the sunset. So
Thelma and
dang
Louise
it.
style.
Another one bites the
Leave
dust.
me here.
I don't know if we figured anything out. Actually, did we?
This is like the first time that we really haven't come
We
to a
did.
conclusion
We
on
figured
how
out
this.
What did we
happened.
figure out?
Some guys found a squirrel and got it identified.
Yeah, this story sucks. Who decided to
sucks.
roleplay this one?
This is not a good
That's
one.
what happened.
It turns out we didn't learn
That
anything.
worked out. That worked out.
Anyway,
To be honest, guys, so just so everybody knows why we did that, originally we were going to roleplay the cheesecake killer, but then once we actually read the details of the story, we were like, oh god, this is awful. We should probably not roleplay
It'd be
that.
too messed up, yeah.
Too terrible.
oh, wrong sound effect. Sorry, don't sue me.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
Wrong sound effect. Sorry. I meant to play this one. We're really sorry that happened to you, and please don't sue us. We're not rich. We don't got a lot of money. We're just a couple of poor podcast guys trying to make it in the podcast world. So
Poor as hell. Poor as hell.
we're just we're so poor
So
that
poor.
even if you sued us, you would probably somehow get poorer.
We are
So-
really poor.
It's
You
bad.
would from
It's
lawyer
bad.
cost.
I poop in a bucket and dump it out my window.
I'm actually
to save water money.
He poops in bags and throws in some trees.
Okay.
the reason why I
Okay.
use this backdrop on the live feed, if you're watching it this way, is actually because I'm in the public library doing this.
And I have to use the
On
backdrop I have
56K.
because it's the only time I get to see food.
All right.
And you can help us by donating today.
I'm sure all our listeners got your background joke, Dave. Well done.
Dave's background is probably gonna get sued. All right. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. thanks for joining us for another great. Well, I don't know if I'd say great. It was another podcast. It was episode 6. And we will be. So listen, guys. This is it. We're not going to be doing this live anymore. We will have the edited version up for you guys to listen. Highly recommend go listen to it. The podcast is going to continue on. It will still release on Mondays. So please come check it out. I'll be posting and talking about every Monday. There'll be a new episode. So please go support it because we're so close to getting a sponsorship, but we need them views. There's a view limit cap we need to hit in 30 days to start get a good sponsorship on this podcast. Hope you had fun.
Let's get it, kids.
Let's do it. And that's it. Anything else, friend?
The power is yours.
For those of you who
Yeah.
are actually watching this final live stream version, don't forget, you can listen to our podcast when we release it every Monday. You can listen. It's even on Amazon Music.
I appreciate you
And
guys
if you
being
like
here for our
watching us,
last
you can
ride.
watch us on our YouTube channels on those other days that we do stuff.
Yeah.
And we just love you so much. So I hope everybody has a
We
great
do.
night. And
Yes.
if you could please just go listen to this podcast, where podcasts be tomorrow, and support us. We could finally get Steve out of the library and get him into something a little better than 56K.
We're
Give me some more hot dogs too.
We actually have to go and end this. Somebody's needing to use this computer now. I've used up all my time.
Shoot, that's not good.
We're just a few guys trying to make it in the podcast world. You can help by supporting this podcast. Download it, share it, like it, and subscribe to the channels. Because, after all, we just brought you a lot of freaking entertainment. And I think it's time to support us and keep us alive, because everybody's gotta eat, including dirty, nasty podcast people. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and remember, new episodes are uploaded Mondays to all the places where podcasts be. You'll find Game Geezin, the best gaming podcast ever made. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the podcast. So support us, Game Geezin, and we'll see you next week.